Welcome back, everybody, to the Rams franchise, where today we're going to begin the episode with a quick recap of this game against the Lions, who still find themselves winless at 0-8. We're sitting at 7-2, just trying to bounce back from our loss last week to the Bengals. Trailing 3-0, we had the ball goal to go at the 1, but we're facing 4th and goal. We would put our trust in Antonio Gibson and the offensive line, and they would pay it off. Gibson would end up scoring his 6th rushing touchdown of the season, and it would give us a 7-3 lead. Now up 10-3 in the second quarter after we added a field goal. The Lions and Trey Lance look at the drive down the field, but it wouldn't happen because Addison Caver would pick off this pass, the first interception he's got here in his second season after he had 7 of them as a rookie. We would make it goal to go at one point, but it would be a complete disaster after that. So on 3rd and goal from the 28, we would just call a draw for Antonio Gibson. He would pick up a few yards and we would just kick a field goal on 4th down. Unfortunately, on the play, Gibson, he would be injured, and he would not be able to return to this game. The Lions down 13-3 would have it goal to go at the 2, and on 3rd and goal, they would call a toss for Kareem Hunt, who would be stonewalled and stuffed by a whole bunch of Rams defenders, so the Lions would just kick a field goal here on 4th down. Up 13-6 now in the 3rd quarter, we have possession, and we're looking to make it a 2-score lead, but Josh Rosen would be hit as he let it go, and he would throw an interception to Alex Singleton. It would be Rosen's 7th interception of the season. The Lions facing 3rd and 18 from the 19, and Trey Lance, he would be chased down by Byron Young and strip sacked by him, and Young not only would knock the ball out, he would recover the ball as well, so we would get the ball right back to our offense with another chance here to make it a 2-score lead. And Josh Rosen, he would just check the ball down to Cooper Kupp, who would break a few tackles, but at the end of the play, he would cough the ball up, and the Lions would recover. So a lot of mistakes going on early in the 3rd quarter for both teams, and really this has been a pretty sloppy game overall. The Lions with a chance to tie the game up, and they would end up doing so. After faking the handoff to their fullback, Trey Lance would flip it out to Kareem Hunt. It would fool Byron Young, and Kareem Hunt would score his 5th touchdown of the season. All tied up at 13, getting late in the 3rd quarter. Josh Rosen on 3rd and 20 from the Detroit 40 would call a screen to Cooper Kupp, who would end up getting a few yards here to make the field goal a bit easier for Tanner Brown, and of course he would make it to give us a 3-point lead late in the 3rd quarter. And it would stay a 3-point lead for us all the way here, getting late in the 4th quarter, but Trey Lance and the Lions had a chance here on 4th and 1, and they would be unable to complete this pass to Jamison Williams, who would drop it, so they would turn the ball over on downs. But the Lions would have one last shot, facing 4th and 10 from midfield. With time winding down, they would not elect to try and get in a field goal range. Instead, they would go for the win here with a Hail Mary, and it would hit the ground incomplete. So the Rams would end up surviving and hanging on to win this low-scoring defensive struggle, 16-13. And the Rams, with this win, they move to 8-2. The Lions, they remain winless, falling to 0-9. Not to take credit away from either defense, but both offenses in this game really stunk it up. The Lions had a combined 9 drops from Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, and KJ Osborne. And Trey Lance, he didn't play very well. Jahmyr Gibbs was really the only thing the Lions had going in this game. They just didn't use him enough. Our defense, it did rack up 4 sacks on Trey Lance. We also picked him off, and Caver, he was credited with 7 pass deflections. He played a great game, and he was on Amon-Ra St. Brown for the majority of that game. Josh Rosen, he struggled in this one, as did the entire offense. He had just 160 passing yards, no touchdowns, threw an interception, had a sub 50% completion percentage, got sacked 7 times. The receivers weren't playing very well. Cooper Kupp had a fumble. Mike Williams had multiple drops. Antonio Gibson was not doing very much, all the way up until he got injured. Montel Rodriguez played a solid game, and we probably should have gotten him the ball more, but we didn't. We were at least able to win the game and avoid falling victim to the trap game, so the entire team has earned 1000 XP. So we have some upgrades to go through. Alex Amaya and Steve Avila, both with the first 2 upgrades. We'll move on to Montel Rodriguez, who we're going to be talking more about here in a second due to the injury to Antonio Gibson. He'll get 3 to his change of direction. Jose Pitts didn't really play very much in this last game, but I do expect him to play more moving forward. And you'll see why, because, well, of course, the injury to Antonio Gibson, we just have to find out how serious it really is. Devin White. We'll go pass coverage. He'll get 2 to his zone, 1 to his man. And the last 2 upgrades we have are for our kicker and punter, Tanner Brown and Ethan Evans. Tanner Brown has been fantastic for us, the entire franchise. And Ethan Evans, he maybe not has been as good as Tanner Brown, but he's been solid. And he'll end up getting 1 to his accuracy. Unfortunately, the injury to Antonio Gibson, it's a foot fracture, and he's going to miss a significant amount of time. He will be out likely until around week 17. He may have had a great year last year, and this year have been struggling, but losing a player of his caliber, overall-wise and workload-wise, it's going to hurt this offense, and we have to try and figure some things out on the fly. Montel Rodriguez, he will be the lead running back. We did use a 3rd-round pick on him, and he has hidden development, so it's his time to shine. But we will also likely utilize Tremaine Barden and Jose Pitts and kind of just ride the hot hand. Whoever is playing the best will end up getting the majority of the workload in that backfield. The Texans are the team that we are taking on next. They're sitting at 5-4. They've had a very interesting season. They began the year winning 4 of their first 5, but have since then lost 3 of their last 4. They do rank pretty well statistically on both offense and defense. They have the number 2 rush defense in the NFL, which is not great news for any of our young running backs. And they're just trying to hang on to the lead in the AFC South. Let's go ahead and get into this game against the Houston Texans. Houston will begin the game with possession. CJ Stroud on a 3rd and 10 is going to hit Keenan Allen on the right side. The longtime Charger, now Texan, is able to pick up 22 yards and a 1st down. 3 pass catchers to the right of Stroud on 1st and 10. He'll instead throw for his running back, Dameon Pierce, who avoids Lonnie Culliver and is inside the 20, putting the Texans inside the red zone. They have it goal to go at the 3. And it's a handoff to Pierce, who cuts back to his left, and he will score his 7th rushing touchdown of the season. And the Texans will march right down the field to take a 7-0 lead against a Rams defense that's coming off a good game against the Lions. Montel Rodriguez getting the handoff, and he's going to fumble on his first carry as a starter. Luckily, the Rams are able to recover, and it looks like they didn't lose a ton of trust in him because he's still out there getting another handoff, and this time he's got a 1st down out of bounds at the 38. Tremaine Barden is the running back here on 1st and 10. Rosen, under some pressure, gets a throw off in time to another former Chargers wide receiver in this game. That would be Mike Williams. He's got a gain of 23 and is in the plus territory. Rodriguez back in the game. They'll hand it off to him off the left side. He'll get a block from Cooper Kupp and another. And Rodriguez was able to get loose there for a second. He is up to the 10 and down there, making it goal to go. 2nd and goal from the 2. It is Rodriguez spinning off of Patrick Queen, and he's got a touchdown. His 3rd rushing touchdown of his career. And the Rams are able to answer right back. So all tied up at 7 with under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter already. It's a pass on the right side to Chase Claypool. He'll get away from Calvin Joseph. Can Caver catch him? He can't. What about Devin White? Nope. It's going to be a long touchdown for the Texans and Chase Claypool. His 3rd touchdown of the season. And the Texans, they answer back, making it 14-7. Here is a pass on the left side to Tremaine Barden. He'll be knocked out of bounds across midfield at the 46 of Houston. With 3 pass catchers bunched up on the right side, Rosen is looking for one of them, I believe Cooper Kupp, but he ran out of time and is sacked by Will Anderson, who is now up to 4.5 sacks on the season. Rosen on 3rd and 17 checks it down to Hitchens, who jukes out a defender and is knocked down a yard short of the 1st down marker. And the Rams are going to be aggressive. They'll go for it on 4th and 1. It is Keenan Russell, the utility man, getting the handoff and picking up 12 yards. Great job by the offensive line to open up a huge hole for Keenan Russell. I don't think it really would have mattered who got the carry. Cooper Kupp on a screen is inside the 10, and Jarrell Peppers is going to tackle him at the 5. It's goal to go again for the Rams. 3rd and goal at the 2. Rosen against a blitz will throw to the middle of the end zone. It is caught by Michael Kirkpatrick for a touchdown. And the Rams are going to tie us all up again, now at 14. So a back and forth game going on so far. The Rams with possession. Here's a pass on the left side to Kirkpatrick, and he's loose, getting away from Willie Gay. And he's across midfield out of bounds at the 45 of Houston. 3rd and 17 from the 37. Rosen against a 4-man rush. A lob down the field. It is caught by Kirkpatrick, and he's going to score another touchdown here in the second quarter. And the Rams will take their first lead of the game, going up 21-14. The Texans are trying to deal with a 3rd and 5 from their own 30. Stroud has nowhere to throw the ball, though, and he'll be sacked by Byron Young and DeMarcus Lawrence, ending this Houston drive. LA facing 3rd and 10 from midfield. Rosen is out of time. He'll throw to his left and throw an interception. It's picked off by Jabril Peppers, the 9th-year man out of Michigan, who is now on his 4th team in the NFL. Will pick a pass off, and the Texans, on the drive after the interception, would end up just kicking a field goal to make it 21-17. Rosen, after the interception, is immediately going to throw into heavy traffic, but it will work out for him as he finds Kirkpatrick for a big gain. Now at midfield, 3rd down. A blitz on the way. Rosen is going to throw over the middle and find a way to get this ball to Schwartz, who is up to the 30-yard line of Houston. Steve Avila is shaken up on the play, but he is good to go. He's already back out there on this play from the 16-yard line. Rosen has too much time. He'll go to the end zone, and Michael Kirkpatrick has his 3rd receiving touchdown in just the second quarter. That's right, he's already got a hat trick here in the first half, and we will head into halftime with the Rams on top of the Texans, 28-17. We'll see if the Texans can make a comeback attempt here in the second half. The Lions, who we just struggled to beat, got blown out by the Browns, 31-7, and that moves the Lions to now 0-10. And they'll look to be well on their way to getting the number 1 overall pick in this next draft. The Cardinals, who lost a few games without Kyler Murray, were finally able to get him back. He didn't have to do too much to help the Cardinals pick up a win and beat the Packers 31-17. Let's get into our second half. It'll be a handoff to Rodriguez, who cuts back to his right, and he's got a huge gain here, but he's going to lose the ball, and Mike Williams is going to dive on it. So the second fumble of the game for Montel Rodriguez, the rookie out of SMU, but it looks like the Rams are still keeping him out there, not losing confidence in him. Mike Williams on an RPO will make a catch and get a first down. He's up to the 39 of Houston. 3rd and 12. Rosen backing up and throwing to his right for Kirkpatrick, who will make the catch, but he's out of bounds a few yards short of the first down marker. So the Rams are just going to kick a field goal here. 31-17, the Rams in front. The Texans trying to make this a one-score game. Will swing it out right side to Pierce, who chucks off. That was Kelvin Joseph, and Pierce is up to the 46 of LA. 3rd down and manageable for the Texans. It's a pass on the left side to Tank Dell, who will make the catch, but go down right away and bring up 4th down. And the Texans are going to punt the ball away. No, it's a fake. A direct snap to their up man, and Jordan Fuller is going to stop the fake punt. A big mistake there by the Texans. They probably should have just left their regular offense on the field. Luckily for them, our offense didn't do much after that. So still 31-17. Here is Dalton Schultz, the tight end for this Texans team, their starter that is, because they do have Josh Oliver as their backup. And they also have another former Ram on their offense in Rob Havenstein at right tackle. Here is Pierce getting loose across midfield, and he's up to the 44 of LA as the third quarter is winding down. Now in the fourth quarter, Stroud will throw to his right for Dalton Schultz. He'll make the catch and be knocked down right away by Devin White, the 23-yard line. 2nd and 10. A clean pocket for Stroud. He'll go quick right side to Pierce, and Devin White is going to drop Pierce in the backfield. It's a loss of 3. 3rd down. Who is Stroud going to look to? He'll go down the field for Chase Claypool, and he can't make the catch. It would have been a very tough one to make. And on 4th and 13, the Texans are just going to kick a field goal. And it is good, but we still have a 2-score game in the fourth quarter. LA is on top of Houston, 31-20 with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. It'll be a toss right side to Barton. He's going to be tackled by Derek Stingley Jr. at the 27. The Rams trying to avoid going 3 and out. Rosen on 3rd and 8. Watch Hitchens on the right side, and he can't bring it in. It got knocked out, and the Rams will go 3 and out. The Texans have a chance here to make it a 1-score game. Stroud throws to his left, and it's going to be pulled in by Tank Dell, the leading receiver on this Texans team, as a first down up near midfield. They'll hand it off right side to Pierce. He is going to spin off of Jason Taylor with a second and fall down on top of Jordan Fuller at the 28 with a gain of 9. Stroud making some adjustments at the line on third and short. It's a handoff to Pierce, and he's got the first down easy and is up to the 24-yard line. About 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Pierce finds a lane and is going to bounce off a few defenders and take it up to the 16-yard line. He's closing in on 80 yards on the ground, just one more yard needed. A pass on the left side to Tank Dell. He'll make the catch and go down the 5-yard line, so it's goal to go for the Texans. Second and goal. They'll hand it off to Pierce, and he's going to cut back to his left and nearly do the exact same thing he did to score earlier. And just like that, the Texans have made it a one-score game. They will go for 2 to try and make it a 3-point game. Stroud is going to throw on the move to his left, and he's nearly picked off by Kelvin Joseph. Could have been a pick 2 for the Rams, but they at least are able to stop the 2-point conversion and make it a 5-point lead for them instead of just a 3, or keep it that way, I should say. And here is Rodriguez beginning this Rams drive with a good run on the right side. He'll spin his way up to the 39. A flip pass to Cooper Kupp on second and short. He'll be dropped by Will Anderson for a loss of 4. Third and 5. And it is a run. Rodriguez getting the carry, and he will not get the first down. And the Rams are going to punt the ball away. So the Texans have a chance to take the lead late in the fourth quarter. Can the Rams defense step up? It'll be a deep ball on the right side for Chase Claypool. Out of reach for him. Nolan Walker and coverage on him. Third and 10. Stroud wants Claypool on the right side, and he can't bring this one in either. A great job by Nolan Walker to break it up. Fourth and 10. The Texans will go for it. Stroud with time. He'll back up, move to his left, throw on the left side. It is off the hands of Kelvin Joseph and incomplete. So it'll be a turnover on downs. And the Rams now have a chance to just run this one out. They only need a first down to do so. It'll be a toss right side to Rodriguez, and he is going to go out of bounds at the 19, and that will stop the clock. He is over 100 yards now on his first start in the NFL. Rodriguez getting another handoff, and he's got space all the way inside the 5. He'll go down at the 2, and the Texans are going to use their first timeout. Second to go from the 3. Rodriguez, he's into the end zone untouched with his second touchdown of the game, and the Rams will go back up by 2 scores. But because the Rams scored, the Texans actually have a chance here. They can get down the field, score a touchdown, and get an onside kick. Another pass breakup made by Nolan Walker, who's had a busy fourth quarter. Fourth and 10. Here is Stroud from a clean pocket going down the field, and Chase Claypool will make the catch. He was able to get the better of Nolan Walker on that one and keep this drive alive. Under a minute to go in the fourth quarter. Stroud scanning, backing up. He'll move to his left, throw down the middle of the field, and there was Claypool making another catch. He's up to the 20-yard line. And the Texans are going to hurry up to the line. They only got 1 timeout remaining. They'll save it. Under 30 seconds to go. It is Keenan Allen inside the 5 and knocked out of bounds by Jason Taylor the second at the 1. And now the Texans are a yard away from making things interesting. Stroud to the end zone, and it is caught by Keenan Allen. He is going to score here his 6th receiving touchdown of the season, and it will come all down to an onside kick. Can the Texans recover an onside kick and keep this game interesting? They will not. It is caught there by Anthony Schwartz, and the Rams are going to be able to hang on to win this one 38-33 over the Texans. The Texans, with this loss, they fall to 5-5 and are now 500. For us, this was a big win. We improved to 9-2 and are just a win away from getting to double-digit victories on the season. If you win double-digit games, you're more than likely going to be heading to the postseason. It's not guaranteed, but more than likely. And if we do make the playoffs, we know we need to have some success in the playoffs in order to consider this year a success. That's just the way this team is going to be defined, because the last couple of years in the playoffs, we haven't done anything. The defense in this game, it was not at its best, but it did, once again, step up late in the fourth quarter and get a stop to help us get the win. That has been a consistent thing that this defense has really done this year, besides really that Bengals game. The offense, it played much better in this last game against the Texans than it did against the Lions earlier in the episode. It was a good game from Josh Rosen, who threw 3 touchdowns, all of them going to Michael Kirkpatrick in the second quarter. And Kirkpatrick, he has had a heck of a rookie season. The other players we got to talk about on offense, Montel Rodriguez. One of the more interesting games we have seen out of a running back on this channel. He had 121 yards on 22 carries, 2 rushing touchdowns, but he also fumbled the ball 2 times. And that is concerning, but we didn't, lose faith in him, and we didn't just give up on him. We left him out there, and he was a hot hand, and we rode him to victory. Now, Tremaine Barden, he may have not gotten a ton of carries in this game against the Texans, but if he's the one that's playing well, he will be the one getting the majority of the carries. It just so happened that this week it was Montel Rodriguez, and it ended up working out. So we'll just keep on doing that when we're on offense. We'll ride the hot hand at running back. The defense, like I said, it didn't play its best, but it made clutch stops. And the main player we have to shout out is Edison Caver. This dude has been one of the more shutdown cornerbacks we've had on this channel. He got 3 to his press there, and it's going to hopefully help him out. Nolan Walker had some nice plays in this game against the Texans, but also he did get burned a few times. He is one of the slower cornerbacks on the roster, probably the slowest one. Justice Branch, we'll be talking about him here in a second. He'll get 2 to his tackling. Unfortunately, Tevin Jenkins, he's got a high ankle sprain, and he will miss our next game against the Colts, but we have already had to deal with him missing some time this year, so we know that Alex Amaya, he's at least serviceable at right tackle, and he will once again be starting while Tevin Jenkins is out. Jordan Fuller, he will miss the Colts game as well with a back strain, and that is where Justice Branch, the undrafted safety out of North Dakota State, will be making his first start in the NFL. Nick Cross will also get some significant playing time, and the other thing we did is go out and sign Brandon Hill to the roster again. He's been on this roster a few times. We needed a 4th safety, and he'll be that while Jordan Fuller is out. We ended up placing Larry Godfrey on the practice squad to open up the roster spot. Some good injury news is that Anthony Allen, who had a partial ACL tear, he is starting to get healthy, and he should be back during our bye week, and then we can actually use him for the stretch run. The Eagles won a thriller over the Raiders 7-0. The Commanders pulled off an upset win over the Cowboys 23-21, and with the outcome of those 2 games, the Cowboys, Eagles, and Commanders, they're all right there with a chance to win the NFC East. The poor Giants in last place have no chance with the way those 3 teams are playing. The Vikings, they've had a good season, but they ran into a buzzsaw in the Ravens, who blew them out 35-3. Andy Hayes, the favorite to win Rookie of the Year, he threw 3 interceptions and is now behind Michael Kirkpatrick in the race for the Offensive Rookie of the Year award in the NFC. The Colts, they ended up scoring 21 points in the 4th quarter to pull off a comeback victory over the Titans 35-33. Anthony Richardson, he threw 3 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor ran for $154 and 2 touchdowns. And the Colts are now winners of 3 straight, and they are on top in the AFC South. And they are also the defending Super Bowl champions. They are who we're going to be taking on in our next game. It is probably my most anticipated game of the season. We played them in the preseason. I think it was last year, maybe the year before that. Either way, whenever it was, we could not stop the starting offense of the Colts. So this is going to be a really interesting game to see how we stack up against them. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one.